Good morning, YouTube. Let's rise and shine. Episode number 39, Lost Boys movie poster, the fifth installment. Yes, today we are going to be working primarily on David, and we might sneak another Lost Boy in there. But let's go ahead and run this intro.
You are watching Velvet Vanitas.
All right, you guys, welcome to the studio. My name is King Kavo, and today we are going to be working on David. As you can see, Michael has got, I'll say, about 2 coats worth. There's quite a bit of work still left to do with him, but I'm moving everybody along to try to get everybody at the same stage at the same time so everything finishes up around the same time. I don't want to be finished one thing and then, screw up something little and then, you know what I mean? I like to finish it all up at the same time. So let me get all these Lost Boys and girl up at the same level and then, move it on through. I had to take a little break for a couple days. I don't know if it really registers in YouTube world, but I had to take a couple days away from this. It is a very stressful painting doing this. It wouldn't be if it was, that's all I've said, right? That's all I've ever said in this so far, is that it wouldn't be stressful if it was on regular canvas, but it's on velvet and it's stressful. That's what it is. At this point, I am quite confidently over it, and I decided I was going to push through regardless. But sometimes as artists, we go through our thing. It's in our head, it's in our spirit. I don't know what it is, but sometimes we just go through our moments. And in this, I'm up against myself in a way that I haven't ever been. And in being that way, it has been challenging. I haven't really challenged myself, in a few months the way that I'm challenging myself now. It isn't the fight for the likeness. You know what I mean? Going into this, I already knew that I was going to lose that battle, and it was just any success was going to be a great success. What it is, it's I am challenging me. You are your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? One of the things that I learned in ninja school was that the biggest enemy that I have is myself. And at the end of the day, that's the battle that I fight every day. And in this, I have, in essence, decided to challenge, my strongest art ninja to something that I wasn't really prepared to do. And now I'm doing something that is, as I've said before, out of my comfort zone. And now I gotta make it happen. But in any championship fight, you're gonna have a moment where the bell rings, and you can take a break, you can go back and, count your teeth, make sure you still got all those, look out both eyes, make sure you can still see, you know what I mean? And then, get a couple sips of water and get yourself ready to get back in there and throw some more chingazos, you know what I mean? Speaking of chingazos, that's what I did. I took a little bit of a break and I painted something on regular canvas. At the end of this video, you will see, if you didn't see, it's already on here. If you're a subscriber, you got a notification, I'm sure, and you already seen it. If not, you can go look through. It's already posted up. And on here at the end of this video, it's did a short video for TikTok, and I'm sharing it here with you. But you know, just took a break to get away from this precision and eye-straining accuracy to kind of just let something go. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is how that kind of came about, how that came to be. So at this point, by the time this video comes out, I will have been working on the Lost Boys project for about a week. And it is still obviously not finished. But, you know, it's taken me a week, you know, thus far. And I imagine because of where I'm at with it right now in the real world, it'll probably take me another half a week, you know, depending on circumstances. Life, it could be another week before I'm finished. I hope it's not, but I'm not rushing this to try to appease anybody's timeline or anything like that. I paint at my leisure and I post at my leisure. So I'm not trying to rush this and ruin it behind anybody's timetable. But this painting has taken me a week to get everything together to the point where I'm at now, right? And the painting that I did in my break took me all of a day and a half to do. In fact, the first day was spent, I probably could have finished it all in one day if I hadn't, you know, taken, you know, some breaks here and there and started on it, not necessarily so late, but, you know, the few hours that it took me the next day to finish it, I had that time. And so legitimately, this idea came to me in the morning, and by the end of the night, it was almost a done painting. Like literally the next day, I only spent like maybe 2 hours finishing it, final touches. And that's kind of the thing, you know, sometimes stuff just pours out of you and it just comes out. It's a flood, you can't stop it. The inspiration was watching some things on Netflix, and so it just showed up and just came out of me all boom right there on the canvas. And sometimes those things creep me out because, you know, it's weird because it's like if you're we'll use Harry Potter as an example, right? If you're a magician, right, and you didn't know that you were a magician, and suddenly you pulled off this amazing trick, and boom, here it is, and it's great. That can kind of throw you off. You know, it can kind of mess with your head. Now, this is one of those things where, because in certain instances, I've been trying to work on this particular thing for a while, and the trick is not working. I'm using all my best that I can, and you know, I'm losing to the velvet in this project, the Lost Boys movie poster. But you know, I don't care. I'm gonna fight this fight. I'm gonna do this anyway, and like I said, I'm gonna try to do the best that I can regardless. But this is taking so much energy, so much. This Lost Boys movie poster is like the Thrilla in Manila, kind of like, it's like one of those old school 15 round, knock them down, drag them out, you know what I mean? Old school, you know, major fight type stuff. And this other painting that I did in one day, that's like, you know, crazy mixed martial arts thing where I submit him in the first 30 seconds and the battle is done. You know what I mean? It just happens. It just comes out of me. And it was like, you know, the only thing I could look back, you know, when, you know, Joe Rogan sticks the microphone in my face, it was just all muscle memory and training. You know, I didn't even know what I was thinking. It just happened. You know, that's kind of what that painting was. Sometimes it is like that. I like those moments because, you know, being someone who is a professional, I very rarely have opportunities for inspiration to just jump out of me and be super creative and make something unexpectedly out of nothing with not even so much as a sketch. You know what I mean? And it's rare that the vision comes out so clearly. I wish that I had the forethought to record the process. But I was like, well, I'm just playing. I'm not really trying to do anything here. And I didn't think that it would be anything worth trying to record until I got to the very end. And it was like, wow, you know, this is probably something I should have recorded yesterday, you know. And it, you know, it is what it is. I recorded the last little bit and I posted it for posterity. I shared it on Facebook with my good friends there. And then I brought it out here on YouTube, and then, you know, I dropped it on TikTok and Instagram this afternoon. But now it's back to work, right? Get back in here. We're going to knock out David. We're going to do a great job. The thing about David is that this particular character in the poster, I'll say everybody on the poster is looking at you, right? If you're standing in front of the movie poster and you're looking at this movie poster, everybody's looking at you. Michael's looking at you. Even though he's got sunglasses on, he's still looking at you. Even though you really, even in the crisp visuals, there's no eyes through the glass that you're looking at. So I would have done that if that was there, but it's not. It's kind of like this weird reflection. I wasn't really happy with it. I thought about maybe making some eyes, but then I felt like, you know, I should be true as much as I can to the picture. But David, of all of them, is really the one looking at you. Yes, Star's looking at you, and Laddie's looking at you, and, you know, everybody's looking at you, but they're just kind of looking at you. Where David is peering into your soul. He's staring at you. You are trapped in his gaze more than anybody else. And it is his eyes that pull you into the very center of the poster. And it's him. And he's looking right back at you. And it's even more of an important focal point, even more so than Michael. As big as Michael is on this poster with the glasses, he's still shielded. He's still sort of shielded from you. He's behind those glasses, where David's looking right at you. Unmistakably, his eyes are the ones that are locked on you. Star's looking past you, you know what I mean? She's, you know, Laddie's looking at the funnel cake stand, you know what I mean? And you know, everybody's kind of just, you know, they're looking at you, but they're looking past you. David is, like I said, he's like peering into your soul. So it's very important that, if nothing else, that focal point here is crisp and clean, and that his eyes set right. Also, the trick is getting his smirk, because it's not a smile, right? It's not smiling at you, right? That is not a happy face, right? And he is not grinning at you, right? There's no teeth. It's not showing you any of his dientes, right? No fang action, none of that, right? he is smirking at you. A smirk is like, it's like a smile in a way that's like a mocking smile, right? That's how I think of smirk. Like a smirk is a smile that mocks you. That's a smile that's challenging to you, right? It's a smirk. A smirk is dismissive of you. And at that point, like, he's staring right at you, and that smirk on his face is like looking down at you like you're nothing. And then the way everybody else, there's only one other set of hands that you see in the poster, and that's Star, and she's grabbing on to David, right? And you see her hand clearly, and it's holding her whole energy is to David, right? But the funny thing is, right, again, I believe that her gaze is just as much looking at Michael, as it's looking at you. So she's holding on to David because David's the one in control. David's the power, obviously, right? But her eyes can be moving right towards Michael. Michael's in front, so she could be looking at you, she could be looking at Michael. Who knows, right? But her hand is the only hand that you see, and it's clutching him, right? And it's sort of in a way that way of saying, like, you know, holding him back, right? Don't go and you know, there's this, it's like she's holding him out of desperation, not necessarily for her own self, right? Just maybe I'm reading too much into this, who knows? But David's hands in this picture are very subtle at the very bottom, and they are like rubbing his hands together in that sinister sort of, well, he's got leather gloves on, but so that sinister sort of, I'm about to have fun with you type. And so that's it. The hands, the smirk, and the eyes, those three things are the focal point of this poster. And so this is probably, you know, even more so than, you know, getting Michael's jacket right or his glasses right. Getting those three elements of David is what is important. Getting his eyes right, getting his mouth right, and getting his hands right. And I'm almost certain that it's going to take me a little bit more to get to that point where I'm comfortable, where I'm satisfied with the image. But we'll see what happens. It's all a mystery until the end, and at this point, it's a mystery to me. I keep this up to date as it is up to date. At the day that I release this video, sometimes it takes an hour to upload. Sometimes it takes 28 hours to upload. I put that 8-minute video of the other painting up, and it took all night. It took like 16 hours to upload an 8-minute video. I don't know. There's issues technologically, whatever. But if you come over to my house and look at the painting as it is today, it is accurate to the release dates of these videos. My point being that I don't really film too far ahead, and I don't really, you know, I'm pretty much on task. So stay tuned with me. My subscribers, please like, share, and new viewers, subscribe and check me out, and stay tuned. I would like to think that, you know, I got some pretty good work coming up here doing these small portraits next. Star's like the biggest face in the next series, and everybody else is like little bitty tiny faces. So it's going to be, this next section is going to be a little tricky. So stay tuned and check me out, and we'll see how that goes. What can I tell you? I usually am in Baldilocks. Last couple episodes, I've worn a bandana, I think, last episode. But in this episode, I'm wearing a handcrafted beanie by one of my excellent good friends from many, many, many years, Michelle. I would like to thank you so much for the beanies that you gave me and my family. I have an octopus beanie. Maybe one day I'll let y'all check that out. But this is a beanie that she made for me, and I absolutely love it. You'll get to see it here more soon because, it's fall, and in New Jersey, it gets cold now, so I'm going to be having something on my bald-headed bean to keep my brain warm. But she did a wedding dress for my wife, and it was one of the most beautiful things, and ended up losing that in the war. I'm sorry for that so much, but this hat is a dream. She made some for my wife, and my son made him a Pokemon hat and made him a Minecraft hat. Just extraordinarily talented young lady. I do not really promote people, but I have decided that I will definitely promote my friends that are artists trying to make a living making their craft, and I love her very much. And so in this episode, I am going to be sharing her Etsy store where you can get contact and get a hat made for you, or what other things. She does all kinds of things. She was making keychains and change purses, and she is extraordinarily talented. But I would like to thank her for this hat. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I'd like to say that, again, I'm going to be putting things up here that are not necessarily all velvet. I'm going to paint what I paint and share what I share. So we're all trying to move forward in this art world, and I believe that it is imperative that we, be creative in all kinds of ways, all forms and facets. And I do believe that it is important that we promote each other so that we can all get a piece of this creative pie. And there it is. That's her Etsy.com shop, Zine Crafts. Thank you guys. Art by King Kavo. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. You guys need some velvet in your life. Stay tuned for episode number 40, the 6th installment. Love, peace, chicken grease. I'm out!
E vai na bairro, e vai e baglia, e bibi fuma caglia. E c'è mi fa le canaglie, li ninguém canataglia. Se un uomo immagina, festa na capa pang pang. E pare oggi, come la matan. Se vuoi fan, non va per fan. Se vuoi gang, non va per guns. Mi gang citizen, push against sun. Stilo mariachi, bang bang, mother bitcha. Hey, Yankee, poson per un pinche, bitcha, bana, boom, bigu, ben, bagia, cu bandilus, magia, bunda, no bambino, no bumba, no vai, no camin. Ma cobai, na minha casa, fla bebê, é de capa. Aze, movimento tudo marca. Morit não te orienta, dinheiro sus.
Aなたと私は完璧に等しい。
あなたと私は完璧に等しい。
Ouch! Watch where you're poking that, mister.
Assimilate algorithm resistance is futile.